Welcome to Bike Park Wales on a Monday. I've done an impromptu trip on the way home because Jim has had his surgery and wants to go back to work rather than spend the day with me. How mean. Anyway, so I've diverted and got a pedal pass with the e-bike and I'm going to ride that today for a couple of hours before heading home. I've got a couple of new things to show you though. First of all is my Abbas Airdrop full face helmet, obviously customised with the sticker. Abbas very kindly sent this to us. It's the Enduro version of their full face helmet and they are going to send us their brand new helmet as well when they have some more back in stock, which is like a trail helmet but with a unclippable or clippable, you can take the chin bit off and wear it as a normal trail helmet, so that'll be pretty cool. So that's brilliant, really comfortable, really lightweight. The padding inside's really good, and although it doesn't have the clip like my Troy Lee one, I have managed to get a bit of a system so that I can get in and out of that pretty easily. The sizes are also really adjustable, so me and Jim are actually wearing the same size helmet, just mine's got different pads in and different adjustments at the back, but it's the same helmet, which means for me there's uber amount of clearance between my actual chin and the chin piece because obviously the helmet's on the larger side. The second thing I've got to show you is we are now being supported by Apex goggles. So rather than the melon ones we've had for a while, which has been amazing and look amazing, we've moved away from them for now to go with Apex. So I've got goggles and glasses, but I'm obviously going to wear the goggles today. So check these out. Brand new clean lens, nice really well adjustable strap, good bit of anti-fog in there and really robust kind of foam there with a really nice venting system. So I'm going to try them for the first time. I used the glasses the other day and they were amazing. On the glasses bit across your forehead, because I got quite a small head, they've got a removable bit of foam that sort of sticks to your head and it keeps them on your face loads better. So I'm hoping that the goggles are going to be just as amazing. One who watches my channel and pinned regularly will know that Jim and I are in a long distance relationship most of the time, and it's always a little bit sad when we leave each other. So I try to either go home and not go home, but go straight back to North Devon and straight to work, kind of distract myself, or go and ride somewhere on the way back. So I didn't head to work today because I wasn't sure how Jim was going to be and whether I would be staying up there like another day. He's actually fine, so, and like I said, he's gone to work, so there's no point in me staying up there till the afternoon on my own, so I decided to come back. There was a couple of different places I was going to go, so I was thinking about Tristram because I heard that it's going to be felled soon, which might not be a bad thing because I think the trails need a bit of maintenance on them. But that's a place I haven't been to that much, which means I would have to spend a bit of time navigating to just be able to find trails which I'm not really in the headspace for. Could have gone to Fod, but again, somewhere I've been quite a lot and I would sort of be maybe going there for the sake of going there. And I've come to Bike Park Wales is one, I haven't been here for a while, and two, because I haven't been here for a while, there is a new blue trail now, so I'm going to have a little go at that. So I'm taking it super chill, really tired, did a lot of riding the last 2 weeks, which has been really good, but obviously this ongoing ankle thing that I'm waiting for a date for, got my pre-op this Thursday, so hopefully the date isn't too far away, but I do have to be sensible, and I got to drive back and I got a 4-week of work. It never ends. Oh, the new sign. You can see all the other cool places to ride in the world now. I wonder if they've got the same weather as us. Okay, so got the goggles on. I am not sure whether they're going to work. So they are one size, and remember I said my helmet was like pretty much one size and me and Jim had the same. I cannot adjust the goggles into any kind of different position, the strap or anything, to make them actually go close to my face, and as you, I don't know if you can see, but the nose bit, the actual foam is pretty much off the end of my nose, and there's this like really big gap here where I can't sort of like push the goggles any further onto my face. So we'll do a rundown and see what they're like, but I'm not sure about these compared to the glasses, which fitted perfectly. Alright, we'll go into Vicious Valley first, because that's going to be the one that is going to give me that thing into it. So we head along past Surfing Bird, according to the map. So obviously I've ridden up, so physically I'm warm, mentally obviously haven't yet done anything. So, well, other than driving, which is obviously mentally stimulating, but in terms of riding, and what we're going to do is we're not going to do full runs, because that just is, obviously you do full runs when within the uplift, because you have to get to the uplift thing, but I'm not doing that, so there's no need for me to do it. So I can just go along the fire road, so I should be able to lap. Oh dear, so you know I said I have that big gap between my helmet and my nose because they don't fit. A fly has actually just got inside my goggles there because of that gap, so that is less than ideal and incredibly distracting. It hasn't buzzed for a second though, so I might be able to ignore it. So the goggles yeah, they're like proper squashing my nose. As it happens today, my nose isn't actually running like it has done, but if it was, it would actually, this is like a bit too TMI, it would probably be pushing snot out of my nose. So there is double barrel. It is open and it has a little sign to say GoPro start recording, which we won't do because this is a DJI and not a GoPro. Anyway, let's have a go down here. We'll go nice and steady because I don't think I've actually watched any videos of this, so I don't even know what it looks like. So we'll just take it steady. Nice so far. Definitely had a lot of use. Nice. As you can see, braking bumps. Okay, a little bit more pop for that one. Wasn't sure how sandy it was going to be. Like that one was pretty sandy. That one needed more pop. That one needed more pop. And here we are. A quick change with the goggles. Check my rear wheel because it's got a big dent in it. Put more sealant and stuff in, and I just heard it on snakebite then when I was coming back to the car. A little bit of sealant's come out, but seems to be holding pressure, so hopefully at least I'll get to the top and back down again. Leave my ankle. The plan is to do pretty much just the flow trails today. The blue and the red ones. Don't fancy doing any big gaps. Don't need to do any casing or coming up short for either my ankle or my wheel, because hopefully soon I'll be getting my new e-bike, which means I really don't want to be replacing too many things on this, and this is already the second wheel I've had, and I just had to change all the drive train because of it being worn and stuff. So I'm gonna try and like nurse it around today. And also I've been doing a lot of tech. I don't often do flow because I don't come to places like this that often, so any sort of jumps or gaps or anything like that is usually on a tech trail. So I think it'd do me good actually after hammering Llangollen this week to do some more flow trails with bike parky berms, and sort of be sort of flowy and poppy and confident with that, rather than just going down the tech, which I'm every ride get a little bit better and a little bit more confident on. So I'm going to be outside my comfort zone a bit today doing bike parky stuff, and that'll probably sound weird to some of you because a lot of people that I know, they much prefer the bike park and stay away from tech because they see it the opposite way round to me. But it's to do Popty ping, but not Popty ping all the way down to Terry's belly. I'm going to do Popty ping to the bottom of the sort of jumps, and then it goes around the corner into Terry's belly. So we're going to come off there to the fire road, come back up, do hot stepper, follow hop stepper down, then come back up again, and then do something else along here. So I've got my other goggles on. I can see again, except for the massive scratch that I put in them at the weekend at Llangollen, climbing over a fence because they were on my arm. It was a bit annoying, but never mind, that's what happens with lenses, unfortunately, especially clear ones. There always seems to be something about the clear ones. I don't seem to do it on these ones. So, come off here. Nice. Hot stepper. Yes, I know I said flow, but kind of for me, this still is flow. When I talk about tech, I'm talking like constant sort of roots, rocks, and this is not really like that. Yes, got a bit more rocky, and obviously it's definitely not as smooth as Popty ping, but there are ways to ride these sorts of trails smoothly, which I'm pretty good at. What I obviously can't avoid is if something is definitely rough and made to be rough, like root maneuver, for example. That is just rough all the way down, and a lot of the black techs are. That's why they're hard, and it's the continuous and the faster you go, the worse it is for my ankle. And what happens is it can't keep up with the vibration, and so it ends up kind of really getting damaged, and then it stops working. And I did a lot of that at the weekend. So yeah, because even for me, braking bumps is a problem. There'll be a problem as well. So just have to be sensible. Slightly better. So I'm running my shock pretty soft, softer than probably I would prefer. But it's working for me. Be a really good video for people actually who well, not necessarily haven't, but people who are at Bike Park Wales or been before, then you're a bit nervous kind of how to progress through. So from the easier blues to the harder blues to the easier reds, for example, this should be quite a good video for you because it's going to show how you can actually progress from sort of the easier ones to the harder ones, because I'll mainly be doing blues and reds. See how my ankle feels towards the end. You'll be able to see that actually they're not really bad, a lot of them, and that you can actually ride them slower. So the same with the blues, you can ride the blues as a better, faster rider, totally different way to what a beginner would ride the blues. And likewise, you can still ride the techie reds, for example, as an intermediate rider or a confident beginner, because you just go more slowly. Not everything has to be hit at speed unless you're on a jump line with jumps that do require speed. That's a totally different thing. But a lot of the tech ones, especially the reds, not the blacks but the reds, you can roll over a lot of these things that are classed as drops, rather than having to really launch off them. I just would recommend, if you're going to do that you do it in the week when it's quieter, so you don't have some knobhead slam into you and be rude.
Right, you got to win money? Your band, right? You're on your toes.
Okay, so the next track we're going to do is a Wibbly Wobbly. So this is like an intermediate red. Actually one of my friend Pete's favourite trails here. There's nothing too nasty on it. Well, actually no, there's nothing nasty on it at all. And you can ride it a hell of a lot slower than what I'm riding it now. There's literally no need to ride this like flat out unless you want to. So you can go fast, or that bit I just dropped over, for example, you can actually roll over if you want to. Use the berms, take different lines, like that's a double there, but it doesn't have to be. So yeah, it's literally up to you. So you can make that a double if you wanted, but as you can see, I just rolled over it. I went over bumpy line there, but you don't have to. So like this, again, roll over. You can roll over that, probably wouldn't want to, you could. And as you see there, I rolled over that one. So you can go around a lot of these things. You don't have to hit them flat out. See, and that looks like it's a drop. That literally is a roll. It's flowy, but you got some techie bits if you want them. You can go fast if you want to. You don't have to. I didn't check actually. I dropped it in case there was any trail changes. Just relying on the fact that I haven't seen anything that says that. Definitely not going down there at Rimdinger, because those trails done so far keep pushing fresh sealant out of my wheel, so I'm not even going to risk Rimdinger when I already have plenty of rim dings. Consider it when I ride blue or red trails, because I know that without blowing my own trumpet I can ride those trails quite fast, and I expect there to be people that are slower on it, because there's those people on the blues and reds because they can't ride like the blacks or other things. But what I don't expect, well, I mean I do expect it, but I shouldn't have to expect it, is people stopping in large groups at the end of trails, especially fast trail exits. So especially coming off things like blues that are fast and flowy, or reds that are fast, and stopping in big groups literally in the way. Like, that shouldn't happen. And if you come in the week so it's quieter, that is absolutely fine. Like, I don't mind that at all. That's exactly why I'm here too. But don't stop at the end of trails, because I don't know if you pay attention to how the roads are right now, but there's lots of people that are not watching or not thinking, and those sorts of people ride bikes too. Clearly some of them at the end of trails, but other ones are going to come flying down and not expect to see you there, and they crash like that even if somebody is slowing down, if they hit you, it's going to be really bad, especially if they're on an e-bike, because they're so much heavier. So please think about where you stop, and if you stop in a group, make sure if somebody at the back is just stopped in front of the end of the trail, that you tell them to come to the side as well. And definitely don't be the first one, because at some point you are going to cause a crash, and if you are stopped at the end of the trail and someone hits you, it is going to be your fault. I think I have got enough for my reel for that double barrel trail. Wasn't the cleanest. I'm finding it, this is one of the things I find hard with jumps, which is why most of, well, not most of my injuries, a lot of my injuries have come overshooting jumps. So it's very rare that I come up short on a jump. It's more often than not I will overshoot it and land to flat, which is how I mashed my ankle in the first place. So some people, when you watch a jump, they rely a lot on the trail speed. Now, I like going fast on tech, but I'm not a fan of going fast so much on like jumps, because I get scared on long takeoffs. Now, double barrel does not have long takeoffs, but what it does have, and I find this similar on A470, all the jumps are made ever so slightly differently. So what I realise I'm doing is I'm adjusting my speed that I come into them, but not adjusting my pop. I literally have a 1 speed pop, that's it. Now the trouble with that is that if it is really big and I'm scared, I will go fast and I will do my big pop. Now that makes me overjump it. What's happening on double barrel is some of them are like, you need a bit more speed and the same amount of pop, and some of them, if I do that speed and that pop, I'm overjumping them. So what's happening now is some of them I'm braking before because I'm scared, and then some of them I'm not going fast enough, and then the pop on its own isn't enough. Heading across to Jakobi, seem to be doing quite a lot of pedalling today. I suppose that's what's happened when you do a pedal pass. So to get to Jakobi, you go along to where the arrows would say for routes manoeuvre, Terry's Belly, Popty Ping. So you're going along the long flat section. It's here. So you do need a little bit of like oomph to get up there, or you're going to have to change pedals. So boom slang is that side, you cannot get it wrong. But obviously boom slang and Jakobi are 2 totally different trails, so don't end up on boom slang if you don't want to be in a full-on sort of blend of tech and flow, because it is hard, nearly always muddy, as in this one, although it doesn't seem so muddy today. Definitely got braking bumps. So with both of these trails, they are designed to be natural, so they're not going to have the same amount of trail work on them as some of the other trails in the park are going to have, and that's on purpose, because unlike a lot of the other stuff which is really bike parky, these are designed to be more like what you would find not in a bike park. So if you're looking to improve your skills for that sort of thing, a trail like Jakobi is actually perfect, because it's going to bridge the gap a little bit between them. But I'd recommend you start on Jakobi and not straight into boom slang if you're not a particular sort of tech lover, because although there are jumps at the beginning of boom slang, it does get very techy as you come down. So more like this, definitely muddy, so many lines through here now, and that's what's really good about these natural bits, is that they're keeping it like that on purpose. So last time I came through here, there were not that many lines, there was basically one line. So again, this is what I said about tech, that looked like a horrendous drop. It isn't. you can actually roll it. So this is the most techiest one I'm going to do today, because as you can see, it's actually bumpy, and because it's dry bumpy, I can feel it on my ankle because of all these braking bumps. So I'm very glad that I didn't go down Roots Manoeuvre, because that would have been incredibly painful today, because Roots Manoeuvre can also be pretty wet, but it won't be, so there'll be no let up. It will be rough all the way down. So last time I came down here, none of these little rocks were visible. It was all mud and all like ruts, so rutty mud. So this is totally different. The thing that I forgot to show you properly before is, not sure, my brakes. So because I'm part of Pinned now, and obviously sadly Todd isn't anymore, although obviously we still see him, the stuff that comes through Pinned, because I'm doing quite a lot behind the scenes for that too, I get to make the most of as well. So as well as the helmet and the goggles and the glasses, which obviously are really perfect for me, just maybe not the goggles yet until they get a bit smaller, we've also got Magura brakes. Now I was quite scared about having Magura brakes, excuse the fact that the stickers come off that one, but on this bike I've got the MT7s, and on the Ryan I have the Gustavs. Very similar, both very hitting brakes, but I assumed that they would be like, if you touch them too much, that you're going to go flying over the front. Not at all like that. What a game changer both sets of brakes are. They're so progressive in the braking, but they're just so stable. So when I was in Scotland, I really noticed on the e-bike how much better those brakes were, front and rear. And they're just solid. They just give way much more braking power. Really good on the e-bike. And the Gustavs that I have on the Ryan as well made a phenomenal difference, as has the 50 Rise bars. Now these ones here are the ODI ones. I've got some Bergtech ones on my Ryan. I'm not a massive fan of what they look like, but from a riding point of view, so good. Like, when, not so much here because there's nothing, well, obviously I understand that some people think some of the stuff here is steep, but compared to say Llangollen off-piste, that is steep. When you're turning into a tight steep corner, something about those bars just gives you so much stability and confidence in getting over the front of the bike and leaning it in a way that I've never been able to do before. Trail, I highly recommend you do on your Bike Park Wales progression ride from blues to reds, or if you're having a chilled out day, is Surfing Bird. Again, brilliant trail, one of my favourites. Really good to ride in the wet as well, unlike Yucca V, which is frankly a totally different trail and can be disgusting. This trail is always good regardless of the sort of weather conditions or anything else. Luckily it's open today, because I wasn't sure if it would be, because I really want to show you this one. So let's get into it. Which is kind of what I'd expect, because I'm about 30k in now. So it's done really well. I don't know, ankle, what the elevation is, but I imagine it's a lot, because it's a lot of climbing. So I've done some really big days recently, really big days. I've had I did a 40k at Grogley, which last Sunday, which I did, no, not last Sunday, Sunday before, which I didn't actually record. Then I did a big day at Llangollen, which again I didn't record. That was about 45k. Went to Llangollen, which is on a vlog, which will be the one before this one, so if you haven't seen it, go and check that out. So I've been getting some really big rides in on the e-bike, which has been nice, mainly because I'm prepping for hard rock, because I'm going to do that again. All these races are for fun. I'm not into full-on racing anymore. I think my days of that are done, but I can't say for sure, because once my ankle's better I might get that competitive spirit back, but at the moment I have to be realistic, and it isn't worth wrecking it, and if I make it worse than it is now before surgery, the surgery won't be as easy and it might take long to recover. So it's not just a case of, well, why don't you thrash it into the ground, it's going to get fixed anyway. Shan't. I'm not actually sure. I don't think there was much of an uptake. This is Bushwhacker, by the way, which takes you back to the visitor centre, which is where we're now going, which is a blue, nice flowy as you can see. Again, be careful on this one, because this is sort of a main easy route back, so you may come across people, certainly at a weekend, that are not doing the speed I'm doing now. Anyway, so we head over to Isle of Man. Isle of Man is one of the best races in the BNES calendar. However, it is one of the hardest. I've done it twice on a pedal bike and I vowed I'd never do it again, and I never will on a pedal bike, but I am going to do it on the e-bike. But there are some crazy rough trails in there and some very steep stuff, as you would expect from a nationals round. Both of that is a combination of bit of a sketch. So this is probably my medium kind of ride this week, and I'll do an easy one and then I'll do kind of a harder ride again in prep for that. And if you're interested in training or coming back from injury or injury prevention, do let me know, because I don't know if people are aware, but I am actually a personal trainer and have been for about 14 years now. So I can actually help with a lot of training, mountain bike specific or otherwise, men and women and children, and I work a lot with neurodiverse people. So if you are interested in that, let me know, because we can have a chat and I can probably help you out. Oh, that's terribly dirty. That is my day done. Don't know if you can see that, but just over 30k, which is perfect, and 2.5 hours, which is what I wanted to do. I kind of thought in my head, if I felt good, I'd go longer, and I do feel good, but I don't know if you heard, but on that last trail I did say ow a couple of times, and that's basically my ankle telling me that the cyst, the 1mm cyst that's in there, is now causing my ankle to swell, and the bone spur I have is now hitting the joint. So that means the bit that I said earlier about the toes dipping down and it getting jammed, that's about to happen, which means it's now kind of dangerous for me to ride, and I've still got like 2.5 hours to drive home. So that's it for me. If you've enjoyed this video, which I hope you have, please give me a comment, like, subscribe to my channel, talk to me about riding here. Do you want to ride here with me? Do you want to ride with me in other places? Are you interested in coaching or having a chat on anything else? You can obviously comment for here, but you can also follow me on Instagram or TikTok too, and I will chat to you there, and I would appreciate any follows and comments and likes too, because I'm trying to grow my social media. Thank you very much for watching this video, and I'll see you at the next one.